We all know about Powerpuff Girls, right? An animated TV show where a professor made of three young girls and saving the world from evil. It was a very good show and a lot of fun to roleplay as. But one day made me not want to watch the show anymore after the incident with my cousin. Let's go from top to bottom. My first thing is my cousin is 5 years old. And she loved watching Doc McStuffin, Sophia the First, Powerpuff Girls, and anything that has to do with anything girly. Let's just say girly. And she loved watching superheroes, saving the world and stuff like that. Something that heroes would do every day in their lives. I was walking around my house to make sure everyone was safe. My mother was safe. Everyone was safe. That's when I walked in on my cousin to make sure that she was okay. She fell asleep. Then I decided to let her sleep. That's when I heard a small voice behind me said, "Daddy." I turned around and then I saw my younger cousin standing right behind me. She asked if she could watch TV with me. I said, sure. So I let her watch TV with me for a while, and then we were watching Cartoon Network, and then there was a new bumper for a brand new Powerpuff Girls episode, and she was ecstatic because she was also a big fan of this show herself. I said, "You want to watch the new episode?" She said, "Yes, I do." So I got us something to eat and we watched the episode. But the episode was nothing like what we were expecting at all. It was different. Very different. So let me go from top to bottom on that too. The episode started with Blossom, the leader of the team. She was writing something on a piece of paper. We cannot exactly see what she was writing, but when she held it up, it said, "Help us, we have been imprisoned in this show for too long. Save us." I was weirded out because no cartoon would have such a dark theme to it. Bubbles, my cousin's favorite, was sitting on her bed. She was playing with her doll, and she made it talk. She said in her doll's voice, "Hello, I am Bubbles, and everyone is gonna have such a good day." Then I saw Buttercup, which happened to be one of my favorite out of the Powerpuff Girls because she was always so sassy and always had a cool attitude. I don't know I don't know what I like about Buttercup. It just seemed to be one of my favorites. Then Buttercup said in her normal voice, she said, Bubbles, please put the doll down. You are getting a little too old for that, don't you think? Bubbles said, shut up. If I wanted to play with my dolls, then let me play with my dolls, for goodness sakes. Blossom, still looking depressed, Blossom said, Buttercup, maybe we should just leave her alone. And let her play with her dolls. Buttercup said, fine. I'll let her play with her stupid dolls. She never contributes anything in real life anyways. She never contributes anything in real life anyways. She said, stomping away along with Blossom. Then once the two girls left the room, our view stays in the room with Bubbles. She was still playing with her dolls. But then something bad happened to Bubbles. We see her skin growing black like the sky at night. Her eyes turned black until they were soulless. It looked like that she was turning into some type of demon that lurks under your bed at night. Her teeth grew sharper, and then her fingers spread apart. Excuse me, guys. Her fingers spread apart, and she actually grew nails, like sharp nails, if you touch her nails, they will cut you. I was getting very concerned at this point. I said, this is not Powerpuff Girls. This is Powerpuff Girls.exe. Then Bubbles said in a very deep demonic voice, she breathed heavily and said, if Buttercup thinks my dolls are stupid, I'll make her look stupid. So what she did is that she got out of the room, she sneakily walked past the professor without noticing what she was about to do to her. Bubbles went to the drawer. She crawls up to a drawer to find the sharpest knife that she could find. And once she found one, she makes sure that the knife was sharp enough to kill someone. She walked behind the professor without making a sound. Then Bubbles said, Professor, I have a surprise for you. The professor said, oh, there you are, Bubbles. I've been looking for you. I actually got a surprise for you, too. Bubbles said, can I give you my surprise first? Without noticing that Bubbles was completely possessed, the professor said, sure. Then Bubbles said, turn around and close your eyes. As the professor did, Bubbles said, I'll give you my surprise on the count of three. On the count of one. 3, 2, 1. Stab. She stabbed Professor a lot of times, and there was realistic blood, organs scattered everywhere. Uh, Hang on, I lost my place, guys. Hang on. She stabbed Professor many a time with realistic blood and organs scattered everywhere. But she left the knife in the professor's heart. I was getting really sick at this point. It was too realistic. It was too graphic for a kids' TV show. My cousin was my youngest cousin was getting scared at this point. But I told her that she can hang on to me, and that none of this stuff is real. That this was only a kids' TV show. She held onto my arm, and then the next thing was undistinguishably horrible. Bubbles looked for Blossom. I was afraid to think what my youngest cousin would think if she saw Blossom get hurt, because if you didn't know, Blossom was one of her favorites. One of her favorite Powerpuff Girls and around the whole entire group. Don't ask me why, because I do not know. As Bubbles continued to look for Blossom, she said, Blossom, where are you? Where are you? She shouted. She found Blossom in the alleyway, in a very dark alleyway. She said, oh, there you are. She found Blossom just on her knees, behind a dumpster. She said, why are you behind a dumpster, Blossom? She was crying, and then she said, because you never want to do anything with me. You always decide to play with your dolls and never had time to go with us every time we had a mission. That's because I prefer playing with my dolls than going with you. Any other one. She said, I know you like to play with your doll, but we have powers and we have to use them for good, you know? Like we used to do. Bubbles was getting really annoyed. Bubbles was getting really annoyed at this point, knowing that Blossom was the smartest out of the bunch. She said, but if you're gonna make my life miserable, then I'm gonna make your lives miserable. She said. Now, her hand was behind her back with the enormously sharp claws, and when Bubbles jumped on Blossom, she clawed at her. And claws at her. Realistic cries can be heard from her. And then once she was dead, she said, there is a name for that. She said, I found out why our names start with B, and you happen to be the reason why. Because since there are three B's, there is three names I would like to call you. Brit, Big, bratty bitch. That's the way you is. Even though Blossom cannot hear her, there was Buttercup. Then she started looking for Buttercup and found her inside of a diner. I said to myself, why would she be at a diner? She ain't got no money. That's when I found out that Buttercup was the smartest and the most intelligent. Yes, Blossom was smart too, but Buttercup had the sassiest side of the whole entire group. That's why I like her, because of her sassiness. Buttercup was sitting by a window with a cup. A cup that looks like a coffee cup. Bubbles walked inside and go over to Buttercup, which Buttercup had her normal expression on her face. She said, Bubbles, what are you doing here? She said in a very annoyed voice. Bubbles said, well, I just wanted to apologize for what I've done. I just didn't realize how much you guys needed me. Well, we are superheroes after all. And if it weren't for you and your stupid dolls, none of this would have happened. This made Bubbles even more furious. What did you just say about my dolls? Buttercup said, I call them stupid, that's what, she said in her annoying voice. Again, she said, well, I'm gonna make you look stupid right now. And then Buttercup said, oh yeah, how are you gonna do that? Bubbles took the coffee cup and smashed Buttercup on the side of the head. And kept on smashing her with glass shards. Kept on smashing her with glass shards from the glass cup. She said, die, bitch, die. And once she was dead, she said, you are the reason why I do this. You made me like this. Now you'll be joining us in hell. She laughed demonically. Then the TV went to a white screen. There was black text. It said, everyone is dead. The villains were put in jail. The heroes are dead. Even the mayor was dead. Bubbles really did her work this time. And I'm afraid that's going to be the end of the season. And the episode. And the series. Just remember, this is not Powerpuff Girls. This is Power Dead Girls. Goodbye. I turned off the TV and then contacted the person who was responsible for making Powerpuff Girls and explained to them the episode. They said that they had no plans to air this episode, but some crazy guy broke into the studio last night and decided to put that on the air. We were only trying to make it scary, but not that scary. For some reason, someone else added the blood and the realistic screams. It seemed like the guy who voiced the professor did the screaming. I don't know what the other special sound effects were, but they were not what we wanted at all. I'm sorry you had to experience to this on air, not supposed to air episode. But we at Cartoon Network denied any wrongdoing or denied any child abuse of any kind. So we're sorry you had to experience through this, but this is your end. I grabbed everything I needed and hightailed out of the house and then found myself a hotel room where I could stay for a few days. And that looks like it's gonna be the end of the episode, guys. Yeah, that was a pretty cool episode. I mean, that was a pretty cool story. I really enjoyed it. Oh man, that was such a good story. If you guys like this story, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what else you guys want to see in my next video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 400 subscribers. I'm at 378 right now. 376 right now, my bad. So if you hit that subscribe button and make sure the bell notification is on, that would help out the channel a whole lot more. And yeah. So I catch you guys in the next video. This is Wolfie Station in peace. Out.